Antarctica is the Earth's southernmost continent, surrounded by the Southern Ocean, and the only continent without a native population. Antarctica is a really cool place, and it even holds a crucial role in maintaining our planet's climate. Antarctica is covered by a huge ice sheet, which is exactly what it sounds like, a huge sheet of ice that sits over the top of land. Ice sheets are at least 20,000 square miles or 50,000 square kilometers, but the Antarctic ice sheet is 5.4 million square miles or 14,000 square kilometers. That's roughly the size of the contiguous United States and Mexico combined. Ice sheets constantly move and flow like honey. In Antarctica, at the edges of that ice sheet are what we call ice shelves, which are these large areas of ice that help protect the ice sheet from the surrounding ocean. Ice shelves are super important. They have one end sitting on the land and still connected to the ice sheet, and their other end sitting in the water. This protects the ice sheet from the water and from melting. They even make up 10% of the total ice in Antarctica. Of the 300 ice shelves in Antarctica, some are very large, as big as some countries. Some of the really large ones are the Ross and Ronnie Falkner. Ice shelves do melt and break, which is actually a big concern for many scientists. A series of ice shelves that have undergone melting and collapsed in the last half century are the Larsen A and Larsen B ice shelves. Larsen C has recently lost a significant chunk of ice as well. When they collapse off from the ice sheet section, they become icebergs or floating pieces of ice in the ocean. But before we talk about why collapsing ice shelves is a huge concern, let's consider why ice shelves are melting.
Temperatures are changing at the poles faster than anywhere else, and this relates to both atmosphere and ocean temperatures. Imagine what that would do to ice. Ice shelves are sitting in the ocean, so they are exposed to both the warming in the atmosphere and the warming in the ocean, causing them to melt from both the top and the bottom. This weakens them and causes them to collapse. And this process may be speeding up from another level at play, something called albedo. Ice is white, so it has a high albedo, meaning it reflects light or heat energy. However, the dark ocean absorbs that energy. So when an ice shelf or any area of ice melts, it reveals dark ocean underneath, which absorbs more heat. This is just like wearing a black shirt rather than a white shirt on a really hot day. You would definitely feel hotter if you were wearing a black shirt. When that dark water gets uncovered, it makes the ocean underneath it even warmer, melting even more ice. The melting then causes more dark water to be uncovered, and that goes on in a vicious cycle called a positive feedback loop. Why is this a concern? The melting of ice shelves is already affecting communities in locations around the world. The biggest impact is sea level rise. Ice sheets are huge, containing most of the world's fresh water. So without the protection of ice shelves, they melt. That would be adding water into our oceans, which can lead to unpredictable and rising sea levels. Since the oceans are constantly circulating, this causes flooding in areas all around the globe, not just the poles. In fact, hotspots for sea level rise and flooding in the U.S. include coasts of the Gulf of Mexico, our East Coast, Louisiana and southern Texas, and other wetland-rich areas. Worldwide, drastic sea level rise is predicted to happen in Bangladesh, China, India, and the Netherlands, where 900 million people are living in low-lying coastal areas. Many island communities are also at a greatly significant risk.
The future isn't set in stone. The more we act, the more we preserve our choices. The International Panel on Climate Change, a group of scientists from around the world who have focused on this issue for many years, has identified different scenarios predicting how much sea level could rise based on the amount of CO2 we are adding each year. So it's all about the choices we make and the future we choose.
It's urgent for us humans to recognize this issue and start combating climate change and rising temperatures to prevent further ice shelf thinning. Though this issue may sound grand and impossible to combat, even the small actions you can take make a great impact. Start with implementing a sustainable diet, composting in your backyard, and advocating for your community by reaching out to mayors and legislators. Ultimately, it always starts with a small action. If we collectively put in the effort, we will be able to make progress and preserve our future.